I'm Brett Clark. I'm the Director of Technology here at Gary Clark County Schools. We recently did our very first in-house virtual field trip using Google+. I'm here with our amazing e-learning coaches, and we were just excited about what a great day we had at the Downs. We've gone on some with other schools, other things to the Connected Classroom. This is the first one we hosted ourselves. So, usually a teacher would plan a physical field trip where they, have to schedule a bus and get chaperones and spend all day with them and monitor them and all this stuff, and kids are moving different directions. And with a virtual field trip, teachers didn't even have to leave their classroom. They could gather all their kids, around the Promethean boards that we put in their buildings, and we as an e-learning team were able to go out to the Downs, be stationed at 3 different locations, and using Google Hangouts, we're able to build this virtual trip where teachers and students participate from their classroom. And as e-learning coaches, you guys were able to take them to a place that would have maybe cost hundreds of dollars and taken a whole bunch of logistics, lots of time and chaperone. We're able to then bring them virtually to the Downs with them never ever having to leave their room.
I love physical field trips. Like growing up, and I look back at my experiences in school, those are some of my best memories of going to the Science Center and getting out in the community and going to the Falls of Ohio. But I think it's like everything else with technology we're trying to implement this year. It's not about replacing and totally doing away with the physical field trip, and technology in your classroom is not about doing away with that lesson that you love doing that is impactful for students, but it's just finding a way to wrap that technology around what's going on in your classroom and just enhance it and make it that much better. So it's not a complete replacement, but it's just a great tool at your disposal, and it's 30 to 45 minutes, so you don't have to take that whole day. But it's so impactful. Like Brett said, when you're out in buildings, students will say, "Hey, I saw you and when you guys were at the Downs, and hey, I got to ask that. You guys answered one of the questions that I asked." It still has that impact, but it's not totally doing away with what teachers love and what teachers are doing. It's just adding to all the great things that's going on in our schools.
And for kids, it's a real world experience. And you get basically one field trip a year where you could do 50.
Right.
Really however many of these that you wanted to with your curriculum each year.
And I think
limited to just that one.
as the Google community grows, as a teacher, when a teachable moment comes up, you could get on Google Plus and say, "I don't know, let's find out." And you ask that question, and when you're in that Google connected workshop community, people respond right away. You can just hop on the Google Plus Hangout right then and say, "Hey, talk to us about that," and that is super powerful.
And also what I love about it is not just going to a place like the Downs or the Polar Bears International to the zoo or whatever, is that the potential with the Google Connected Classrooms is for teachers. Let's just say a teacher at Jeff High is teaching Hamlet and a teacher at New Washington is teaching Hamlet, and there needs to be some sort of class discussion about culture or whatever that kids grow up in and the connections that they make with the culture. The kids from Jeff High, I feel like, have a different culture than the kids from New Washington. They could do a Google Hangout together to discuss, how they perceive, based on how they've grown up in their communities, how they perceive those types of literature. It's not just going to, a tourist attraction. I don't. That's what I don't want people to think, is that it's just for visiting places. That there's more educational value in it.
Just like technology's not about the device, the field trip's not about the place. It's
Right.
about the interaction.
I'm gonna go back to that JT said. He talks about some of our students. We didn't get to all their questions. I'd love to see teachers take that into that field trip and say, okay, what questions didn't get answered? And then now the challenge is, can you find those answers to those questions? And so here's this great opportunity for a teacher to extend that field trip beyond just the time that we are participating in the Google Hangout. Now they're taking this, they've activated a student, because it's always imperative as educators that when students have those questions that we strike where the iron is hot. They hear this kid, he has a question, he wants to explore it, and now let's find a way to then now stretch that student's mind to not. Now you're diving into research skills, you're diving into looking at the validity of sources online, and you're teaching all kinds of great things. And you're absolutely right, Katie, it goes beyond just the place that we're taking them to, but now you've opened up their mind to really any question that I have now, I can find an answer somewhere to it. I'm Brett Clark, and on behalf of the entire eLearning team, we thank you so much for all your participation and all the great things we did this past school year. We're really looking forward to more great things ahead in the next school year.